All right, so you go for that editor-in-chief position, huh?
Good job.
Definitely big time.
Definitely.
Well, we've got all this stuff from RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
career guides, interview questions, and they even have this AI thing.
Oh, yeah. Their AI is really impressive.
What does it do?
It can analyze job descriptions and then suggest what skills you should really highlight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's step back for a sec before we get into the tech stuff.
Okay.
I want to talk about the actual editor-in-chief role itself.
Sure.
Because this whole deep dive is to get you ready for those tough interview questions.
Right.
But you really got to know what the job is all about to give good answers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you really have to know what you're getting into.
Right?
Because it's a lot more than just being like the boss of the writers, you know?
Right.
You're the one shaping the voice and direction of the whole publication.
Yeah, RoleCatcher even mentions things like budgets and strategic planning.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. It's a ton of responsibility. It's high pressure, long hours, deadlines, but the rewards can be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have the power to shape the content, what people are reading, influence things.
Wow.
And the earning potential is really high.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So I guess the first question before we even get into the nitty-gritty of the interview prep is like, is this really what you want?
Yeah, that's the big question right there. You have to ask yourself that.
Yeah.
But let's say you're all in.
Okay, you're in. You want this.
You want it. So now it's strategy time. RoleCatcher's got these 9 sample interview questions.
Okay.
And they're all kind of trying to get at the same things.
Like what?
Can you lead? Can you think strategically? Can you make tough calls? And can you handle the pressure?
And I'm guessing that that's where the RoleCatcher AI comes in to help tailor those answers?
Exactly. It helps you highlight the right skills based on the job description.
Okay.
But before we get to the AI magic, let's try a few of these questions the old-fashioned way.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so first up, can you walk us through your experience working in a leadership role in the editorial industry?
Okay.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But it's your chance to show them what kind of leader you are and what you've actually accomplished.
So how do you approach that?
Well, you need specific examples, things that really show your leadership.
Okay, like where?
Did you mentor someone who was more junior?
Okay.
Did you head up a big team project?
Oh,
Was there a time you had to make a really tough decision that affected the whole publication?
So you're saying don't just list your job titles, tell a story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell a story that shows your journey as a leader.
And probably focus on what you actually achieved, right?
Oh, yeah. Quantify it.
Right.
Did you bring in more readers?
Okay.
Did you launch a successful content strategy?
Numbers
Yeah.
are powerful.
Numbers are powerful.
Yeah.
What about follow-up questions? They always get you with those.
Oh, they will.
Yeah.
They might ask you to go deeper on an example or tell them how you dealt with a tricky situation. So be ready to get specific. Okay, so that's question 1 down.
1 down, 8 to go.
What's next?
How do you stay up to date with industry trends and developments? This one's all about showing them you're a learner.
Always learning. Always growing.
Always. So I read trade magazines isn't going to cut it? Nope. You got to name names.
Specific publications.
Yes, specific publications, conferences, thought leaders you follow.
Right.
Prove that you're plugged in.
And I bet they'd love to hear about a time when you actually took what you learned and put it into action.
Oh, yeah, that shows initiative.
So like what?
Maybe you found a new content management system.
Okay.
Or you saw this awesome social media strategy and you brought it into your work.
Smart.
Yeah.
Now, where does the RoleCatcher AI come in with this particular question?
Okay, so it can check out the job description and suggest trends and technologies that are super relevant to that company.
So it's like customized learning suggestions.
Yeah, pretty much. And you can use that to show, the industry A&D their specific needs. Now, a follow-up question they might throw at you is, what's an emerging trend you're most excited about, and how would you apply it to our publication?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's where you show your vision and how it fits with their goals.
Okay, question number 3. Give it to me.
Can you describe your experience managing budgets and financial resources?
Now, this is where I'd probably freeze up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't had a super senior management role yet,
Exactly.
that's where you show you're resourceful. Have you ever had to make tough choices about limited resources?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you found a way to stretch a tiny budget, or you negotiated a really good contract. It's all about showing you get the financial side of things.
Even if you haven't managed $1 million budget.
Exactly. And again, quantify it. Did you save them money?
Okay.
Did you bring in more revenue? Show them the impact.
Okay, follow-up questions here. What could they ask?
They might ask, how would you handle budget allocation when resources are tight?
Go ahead.
Or how would you prioritize competing needs within a limited budget?
So they're really trying to get at your strategic thinking there.
For sure. They want to know how you make decisions under pressure.
And I bet that's another place where the RoleCatcher AI shines.
Yeah, it can look at the company's financials and industry benchmarks and give you insights into their budget priorities.
Oh, wow.
And then it can suggest examples from your experience that fit with their goals.
So you can show them, you get their financial landscape, and you can make good decisions.
Exactly.
All right, question number 4.
How do you approach developing and executing editorial strategy?
Okay.
This is where you get to show them you can think big picture
Right.
and that you understand the audience.
So it's not just about, writing clever headlines or
Yeah.
something like that.
You got to show them you get the publication's goals
Mm-hmm.
and how the content strategy helps achieve those goals.
And I'm guessing you should tie it back to their publication, right?
Of course.
Uh,
How would your approach address their specific challenges and opportunities?
okay, so you're really tailoring it to them.
Absolutely. And be ready for those follow-ups, like what's a strategy that didn't work out and what did you learn from it?
Oh, yeah, they love those failure questions.
Yeah, they want to see you can learn from mistakes.
Makes you human, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, on to question 5. Can you discuss your experience managing a team of writers, editors, and designers?
This one's all about leadership style.
Okay.
Remember, leadership's got a lot of layers to it.
Oh, yeah.
Communication, delegation, motivation, creating a good atmosphere.
So a lot of soft skills in there.
For sure. So what are some things you want to highlight when you answer this one?
I'm listening.
Talk about how you communicate clearly.
Okay.
How you delegate strategically.
Well.
Give constructive feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Support your team's growth and development.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
And what about those times when things don't go so smoothly?
Oh, you mean like real life?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to talk about those too.
Okay.
Tell them about a time you had to deal with conflict on your team or a really tough situation. How did you handle it? What did you learn? Show them you can handle the hard stuff.
And this seems like another good spot for that RoleCatcher AI.
Oh, yeah, big time. It can analyze the company's culture and values
To do what?
to figure out their preferred leadership style.
Interesting.
Are they collaborative? Do they focus on results? By understanding what they want, you can tailor your answers.
Smart. Okay. So you're really giving them what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Okay, on to question number 6. What have we got?
How do you approach managing multiple editorial projects simultaneously?
Okay.
This one's all about organization and knowing how to prioritize,
So time management skills.
time management, staying calm in the chaos.
Because an editor-in-chief has got a lot going on.
Oh, yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah.
So how do you prove you've got what it takes?
Good question.
Talk about your process.
Okay.
Do you use any project management tools?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a system for deciding what to tackle first?
Okay.
Are you good at delegating tasks to others? Be ready for those follow-ups, like, tell me about a time you had multiple projects with crazy deadlines. How did you manage?
Okay.
It's your chance to show you can work under pressure and make tough decisions.
Okay. Question number 7. Bring it on.
All right. How do you approach developing and maintaining relationships with key stakeholders, such as advertisers, partners, and contributors?
Okay. Lots of people keep happy there.
Yeah, it's a whole ecosystem. So this one's all about your people skills.
Gotcha.
Can you build strong relationships?
So communication, negotiation.
Exactly. Can you see different perspectives?
Okay.
Build consensus? Create win-win situations?
Win-win situations. Everybody loves those.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So what kind of follow-ups could they hit you with here?
Oh, they might ask, tell me about a time you had to negotiate a tough partnership. What happened?
Okay.
Or how would you handle an advertiser who wants something that clashes with the publication's integrity?
Ooh, yeah, that's a tricky one.
These are all about testing your diplomacy, your negotiation skills, and your ethics.
And of course, the RoleCatcher AI can help us out here.
Of course it can. It can analyze the company's stakeholder relationships and suggest examples from your experience
Okay.
to show you can navigate those dynamics.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
It's clear that getting ready for an editor-in-chief interview, it's strategic. You got to know the industry. You got to show those leadership skills.
Absolutely.
And don't forget the power of tools like that RoleCatcher AI
Oh, yeah, for sure.
to help you tailor your answers and get that feedback.
Yeah, that feedback's gold.
All right, so we're going to dive deeper into those AI-powered features in our next
Oh,
segment.
they're good.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Okay, so we've tackled some of those interview questions, but RoleCatcher also has this whole section on career stages,
Yeah.
from junior editor all the way up to, you guessed it, editor-in-chief.
It's great, especially if you're like, wait, I haven't been an editor-in-chief yet.
Right.
They break it down, what each stage means, the skills you're learning how to show, you're ready for that top spot.
So you can still show you've got the skills even if you haven't had the exact title.
Exactly. Let's say you're an associate editor.
Okay.
Remember that question about managing multiple projects?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as an associate editor, you might not be juggling as much as an editor-in-chief would.
Right.
But you've definitely handled a bunch of projects at once.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you ran a special issue while still doing all your regular work.
Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect example. Tell them about that.
Let's talk about the challenges, the decisions you made.
Yes. And the results you achieved.
Quantifiable achievements like we were talking about.
Exactly. Did that special issue get a ton of new readers? Did it get amazing reviews? Tell them that.
And that's where I bet that RoleCatcher AI can really help.
Oh, yeah. It can analyze what the editor-in-chief job actually needs
Okay.
and suggest examples from your experience, even if they're from earlier in your career.
So it's like it's pulling out the best parts of your resume for that specific job.
Pretty much. It's like a roadmap highlighting what matters most to those interviewers.
I like that. Okay, so what else can the AI do?
Well, it's not just about what you say. It's about how you say it right.
Oh yeah, for sure, delivery matters.
Big time. And RoleCatcher has AI for that, too.
Like what?
They have these AI-powered interview simulations.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
You actually record yourself answering questions,
Okay.
and it analyzes your pacing, your tone, your body language.
Wow.
It's like having an interview coach right there in your pocket.
That's awesome.
And it can even tell you if you're using too many filler words or talking too fast.
So you can smooth out those rough edges.
Exactly.
That is super helpful, especially if you get nervous in interviews.
Definitely. And here's what I think is really cool.
What?
It can also analyze job descriptions and tell you what skills you need to highlight.
Interesting.
So it's not just showcasing your experience, it's tailoring it to what they're looking for.
So it's like the AI is saying, hey, based on what they want, here's what you need to really focus on.
Exactly. Let's say the job description says they need a strategic thinker with digital marketing skills.
Okay.
When you're answering that question about editorial strategy, you'd want to talk about things like data-driven decision-making, your SEO knowledge-making content people actually want to read online.
Okay, so you're using your experience, but you're connecting it to what they need.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's AI helps you move past those generic statements
Right.
and show them what you can really do.
Okay, so paint that picture.
Exactly. Now imagine they follow up with, how would you leverage digital marketing to grow our readership?
Okay.
That's where you use all those AI insights.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about specific strategies and tactics you've used and connect them to the company's goals.
So you're showing them you can walk the walk.
Exactly. It's not just theory. It's about getting things done.
That's what they want to see, right?
for sure.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the AI and the career stages.
Yeah.
But no matter how fancy the tech gets, you still have to tell a good story,
Oh, yeah. Stories are everything.
right? It's not enough to just list your accomplishments.
Nope. You got to engage them. You got to leave an impression.
And RoleCatcher actually talks about how to do that.
They do.
They're big on the STAR method.
Oh, yeah. Situation, task, action, result.
A classic for a reason.
Classic and effective. It's a framework for telling your story in a way that's clear, concise, and makes an impact.
Sound like that it keeps you focused?
Keeps you focused. So let's say you're answering that question about crisis management.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, I'm good at handling crises, tell them about a specific time you faced a major PR issue.
Okay, so set the scene.
Set the scene. What was happening? What was at stake? What was your specific task?
Got it.
Then you describe what you did.
The actions you took.
Exactly. Highlight your problem-solving skills, your communication, how you stayed calm under pressure.
They love that staying calm under pressure.
Yeah, who doesn't? And then, of course, the result. How did you fix the crisis? What did you learn?
So the STAR method plus those vivid details.
That's the recipe for a story that's informative, engaging, and memorable.
They'll remember you.
They'll remember you. And you know what? RoleCatcher's AI can even help with this part.
Really?
It can analyze the company's values and culture
Okay.
and suggest what kinds of stories will really resonate with them.
Oh, wow. So it's giving you that insider scoop.
It's like a peek behind the curtain so you can tailor your stories to their specific tastes.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here with those career stages and the AI features.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's one more thing we need to talk about, and that's those follow-up questions.
Oh, yeah, those are the curveballs.
The curveballs that can really throw you off.
Exactly. It's not just about having the answers ready. It's about thinking on your feet.
Being adaptable.
Adaptable, quick on your toes.
So what does RoleCatcher have to say about handling those?
They say active listening is key.
Okay, so really paying attention.
Paying attention, pausing before you answer,
Okay.
and even asking clarifying questions if you need to.
So it's not just reciting a script, it's a real conversation.
It's a real conversation. You're thinking critically about what they're asking.
I like that. Okay, give me an example.
Let's say you just finished talking about this awesome content marketing campaign you led.
Okay.
They might hit you with, what were some challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Okay, yeah, that's a classic.
Classic follow-up. They want to see how you solve problems, how you adapt when things get tough.
And it's a chance to show you can learn from those setbacks.
Exactly. And guess what?
RoleCatcher AI.
RoleCatcher AI can help you anticipate those questions.
How?
By analyzing the job description, it can spot potential areas they might be worried about.
Interesting.
For example, if they mention needing someone who can handle a fast-paced environment,
Okay.
they might ask about prioritizing tasks and juggling deadlines.
So you can be ready for those questions.
Exactly. You can show them you're calm and collected even when they throw you a curveball.
That makes you look good.
It does. It shows you're not just going through the motions.
Right.
You're actually engaged and you care about the role.
That's what they want to see. Okay, so we've talked about those career stages, using the AI, thinking about those follow-up questions.
Yeah, a lot of prep work.
RoleCatcher definitely gives you a lot of tools and insights.
It does. But at the end of the day, there's one thing no AI can do for you, and that is being yourself.
Yeah, yes. Authenticity.
Authenticity RoleCatcher gives you the tools, but you have to bring your own voice to the interview.
So how do you balance being prepared with being authentic?
You have to take in all that information, understand the big ideas, and then express them in your own way.
Don't try to be someone you're not.
Exactly. Be you. Let your passion for the role and the industry shine through.
Let those human connections happen.
Yes. Those interviewers aren't just looking for the right answers.
Right.
They want someone they can connect with, someone they can see leading their team.
Someone who's not just a robot.
Exactly. Someone real. So, yes, be prepared, show your skills, but don't forget to be yourself.
Let your personality come out.
Yeah, because those genuine connections.
That's what makes a good interview great.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about another important part of the editor-in-chief role.
Okay.
Stakeholder management.
Right. All those different people you have to work with.
Exactly. Remember that question about developing relationships with stakeholders?
Advertisers, partners, contributors.
Yeah, the whole gang. This is where thinking about those career stages can really help.
Okay. I'll go.
Well, as you move from junior editor to associate editor to senior editor, your responsibilities change.
And so do the people you're dealing with.
Exactly. At the junior editor level, you're probably focused on the writers, making sure deadlines are met and things like that.
Yep.
Then as you become an associate editor, you start working more with advertisers and partners.
Understanding their needs.
Exactly.
Figuring out how to make everyone happy.
And then when you're a senior editor, you're making strategic decisions that affect everyone.
High stakes.
High stakes. You need to negotiate, build consensus, keep those relationships strong.
So when you're answering that stakeholder management question,
Yeah.
you want to show you can handle all those different levels of interaction.
Exactly. Give them real examples of how you've built trust-resolved conflicts, made those win-win situations.
And tailor those examples to the company you're interviewing with.
Of course, RoleCatcher's AI can help with that too.
It can.
It can analyze the company's stakeholders and suggest examples from your career that will resonate.
So you're showing them you understand their specific world.
Exactly. You're adaptable. You can build bridges between all those different people and viewpoints.
I like that. Okay, so let's say they throw you a curveball.
Okay, hit me.
Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult advertiser who disagreed with your editorial direction.
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. They're testing your negotiation skills,
Yeah,
your conflict management, and your integrity.
for sure. It's your chance to show your diplomacy and your commitment to ethical standards.
So how do you answer that?
You can use the STAR method again.
Okay.
Set the scene, describe your actions, highlight the positive outcome, and don't be afraid to be human.
Talk about what you learned.
Exactly. How the experience changed you.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes. And those moments of vulnerability can actually create a stronger connection with the interviewers.
They want to see that you're self-aware.
They do. And that you're willing to learn and grow.
Okay, so we've talked about career stages, AI research, all those things for stakeholder management.
A lot of angles.
But there's one more thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
Research.
Yes, research. You got to go beyond the job description.
Dig deeper.
Dig deeper. Look into the company's history, their values, their challenges, their goals.
Like a detective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher can help with this too.
They can?
They have this huge database of companies.
Okay.
You can find info on their financials, their leadership team news coverage, even their social media.
Wow. So you can really get the inside scoop.
You can, and it shows them you're not just interested in any editor-in-chief job.
Right.
You're interested in their company.
And that goes a long way.
It does. It shows you're serious. It lets you ask smart questions that prove you've done your homework.
Okay. Give me an example.
You could ask, I read about your recent initiative to expand into mobile content. How do you see the editor-in-chief role contributing to that?
Oh, that's good.
Or, I noticed your company is really committed to diversity and inclusion. How does that play into your editorial decisions?
Okay, so you're taking what you learned from your research.
Exactly, and turning it into a conversation.
A conversation that shows you're paying attention.
Exactly,
Right.
and that you're thinking critically.
So research is key.
Research is key. It helps you stand out, show your interest, and leave a lasting impression.
Okay, so we've covered stakeholder management,
We have.
but now let's shift gears a bit.
Okay, where are we going?
Let's talk about leadership.
Leadership, the heart of the editor-in-chief role.
Remember that question about managing a team of writers, editors, and designers?
Oh yeah, that one's a biggie.
It is, because leadership is essential.
It's what they're looking for.
So you got to show them your leadership style, how you motivate people, how you build great teams.
Exactly. And those career stages we talked about from RoleCatcher can really help here.
Okay, I'll go.
Think about it. At the junior editor level, you might have mentored interns or given feedback to newer writers.
Okay.
As you move up to associate editor, you might start managing a small team or leading projects.
Okay.
And then as a senior editor, you're probably managing a larger team.
More responsibility.
More responsibility, you're delegating, giving performance reviews, creating a good work environment.
So lots of growth there.
Lots of growth. So when you're answering that leadership question, highlight those experiences that show how you've grown as a leader.
Okay, don't just list your titles.
No. Talk about the challenges you faced, the decisions you made, the impact you had on your team.
The stories.
The stories. And remember, leadership isn't just about barking orders.
Right.
It's about inspiring people, empowering them, creating a shared vision.
So you're a guide, not a dictator.
Exactly. And you know what else? RoleCatcher's AI can give you some clues here, too.
It can.
It can analyze the company's leadership style
Okay.
and suggest examples from your career that fit with what they're looking for.
So you're speaking their language.
Exactly. For example, if they value collaborative leadership,
Yeah.
you could talk about times when you facilitated brainstorming, encouraged open communication, empowered your team to share ideas.
I like that.
Or if they're more results-oriented,
Okay.
you could focus on examples where you set clear goals, tracked progress, held your team accountable,
So you're showing them you get their philosophy.
and that you can lead their team effectively.
Okay, so let's say they hit you with a follow-up question.
All right, I'm ready.
Tell me about a time you had to motivate a team member who was struggling to meet their deadlines.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a tough one because it's about empathy and accountability.
Exactly. It's about being a coach and a mentor.
So how do you handle that?
Use that STAR method again. Describe the situation, your approach to understanding the team member's struggles, what you did to support and motivate them, and the positive outcome.
So it's about helping them succeed.
Exactly.
Right.
And don't be afraid to show your own vulnerability.
Okay.
Talk about what you learned from the experience.
Because those moments of authenticity
Yeah, they can really resonate with the interviewers.
shows you care about your people.
It does. Okay, so we've covered career stages, AI research, all for prepping for those leadership questions.
Lots of good stuff.
But there's one more element we need to touch on.
What's that?
Vision.
Vision.
As an editor-in-chief, you're not just managing the day-to-day stuff.
Right.
You're setting the direction for the publication, inspiring your team, shaping the future of content.
That's a big responsibility.
It is, and it requires vision. You have to be able to articulate it in a way that gets people excited.
So where does RoleCatcher come in with all of this?
Well, they don't exactly have a step-by-step guide for developing your vision. But their resources can help you understand the industry, the competition, what audiences are looking for.
Okay.
By really diving into those resources, you can start to form your own ideas about the future of content.
And where you fit into that future.
Exactly. Think about what's missing in the market, the trends that excite you, the values you want to uphold.
Okay, so you're figuring out your own unique perspective.
Exactly. And then you practice explaining that vision in a way that's clear and compelling.
Like you're giving a TED Talk.
Kind of. Imagine they ask you, What's your vision for the future of our publication?
Okay.
That's your moment to shine. Show them you're a thought leader.
Make them believe in your vision.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to be bold, to challenge the status quo, to paint a picture of a future that's both exciting and achievable.
I like that. Okay, so vision is key.
Vision is key. It sets you apart from the other candidates.
So you're not just there to keep things running.
Nope. You're there to shake things up,
To innovate.
to make a real difference.
So remember, leadership isn't just about checking things off a list.
No, it's about inspiring people, creating a shared vision, and pushing the boundaries.
And with RoleCatcher's help,
Yeah.
you can develop those leadership skills, tailor your experiences to the job, and really articulate that vision.
So you can wow those interviewers.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Is there anything else we need to unpack before you're ready for that interview? So much to think about, but let's not forget about the people, the human side of being an editor-in-chief.
Yeah, you're not just managing a publication, you're leading a team of creative people.
With their own personalities and goals and all of that.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher talks about this in their career guide. They emphasize mentorship and professional development.
Because it's not just about getting the work done.
Right. It's about creating a culture where people feel valued, supported, challenged to grow.
Okay, so how do you bring this human touch into your interview answers?
Remember that question about managing a team of creatives?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just list your management skills, tell stories that show how you mentor people.
Okay, so like what kind of stories?
Did you help a young writer find their voice and get a big article published?
Okay, yeah.
Did you encourage a designer to try something totally new that pushed the publication's boundaries?
I like that.
Those stories show you care about developing talent and creating a space where creativity can thrive.
And it shows you've got emotional intelligence.
Which is huge for any leader, especially in a creative field.
Okay, so let's say they follow up with something like,
Okay.
how would you handle a situation where a talented writer is constantly missing deadlines?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is. You want to be supportive, but you also have deadlines to meet.
Right, you got to balance empathy with accountability.
So what do you do?
Don't just jump to punishment first. Try to understand why they're missing deadlines.
Okay.
Is it lack of motivation? Do they need more training? Are there personal issues affecting their work?
So you're getting to the root of the problem.
Exactly. Then you can tailor your approach to fix the issue without damaging the relationship.
And I bet that's another area where the RoleCatcher AI could come in handy
Oh, yeah. It can analyze the company's culture and values
to see what...
to see how they approach employee development and support.
Okay, so you can match your answers to their expectations.
Exactly. You can show them you're a leader who cares about the well-being of your team.
Okay, so we've covered a lot about answering their questions.
Yeah, we have.
But now let's talk about asking questions.
Oh, yeah, good point. It's a two-way conversation.
It is. You're not just there to take a test, you're interviewing them too.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher says you should ask questions that go beyond the basics.
Like what?
Things that really get at the company's culture, their challenges, their plans for the future.
Could give me an example.
You could ask, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the editorial team right now?
Okay.
Or how do you see the publication evolving over the next few years?
So you're showing them you're thinking about the big picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're genuinely interested in the company, not just the job title.
And you get to learn valuable information that can help you decide if it's the right fit for you.
Exactly. Win-win. And you know what?
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you come up with those questions.
Real.
It analyzes company news, financials, social media, and suggests relevant conversation starters.
Wow. So it's like having a research assistant giving you those little nuggets.
Pretty much. And those nuggets can spark a great conversation and really make you stand out.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on prepping for an editor-in-chief interview, remember, it's not just about listing your skills.
I know.
It's about connecting with those interviewers, showing your passion and your vision.
RoleCatcher gives you the tools, but it's your unique voice and perspective that will make you shine.
Be yourself, let your love for storytelling guide you, and you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
And remember, the best way to prepare for any interview is to stay curious, keep learning, and never stop growing as a storyteller, because that's what makes a truly great editor-in-chief.